Chapter 11 of Dune reminds me of a comedy sketch from the TV show Portlandia. Hello and welcome. I'm Stephanie and thank you for joining me for this Chapter 11 summary of Dune by Frank Herbert, which was published in 1965. If you haven't already watched the previous chapter summaries, they can be found in the playlist called Dune Explained by Stephanie. I'm making these videos to help you better understand this brilliant and important story that is also long and a bit complicated. This book is 600 pages and I've read every single word out loud. I've also read every chapter multiple times. I don't use any AI when coming up with my summaries or commentary because I have a brain and you have a brain. Let's enjoy using our brains and go on an exploration of Dune together, taking it one chapter at a time. Please take a moment now to do me a couple of quick favors to help your fellow Dune fans find these videos. Hit the thumbs up button below this video and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be giving summaries of Dune Messiah next, and we'll finish them before the Dune Part 3 movie comes out if you're watching in real time. Now, go grab a cup of spiced coffee, relax, and let's talk about Dune. We're going to be talking about the events in Chapter 11 in terms of several different categories. Overview, when, where, who, what, why, and how this chapter moves the story forward. Then it will be your turn to comment with your ideas, thoughts, or questions. You can also join my premium Dune Club membership that gives you access to extended conversations about Dune every week and members only videos about once a month. To learn more, click the join button below this video or on the channel main page. The quote from Princess Irulan that opens chapter 11 is all about what Duke Leto was thinking. It talks about, this is a man who cares about his family. He cares about his people, yet he still made them incredibly vulnerable. Think of the concept of risk and reward. In terms of history, our history on planet Earth in our modern world, think about the gold rush and the Wild West and how we had civilized society on the East Coast of the United States of America. But people still thought, hey, if we can make it out there, out west, if we could brave the unknown, if we could face danger and be brave and persevere, wow, wouldn't life be spectacular? Wouldn't we have more freedom? Wouldn't we have more prosperity? Wouldn't we be in charge of our own destinies? And this is what we're led to believe was going through Leto's mind. If House Atreides did not accept the offer from the Emperor, or really the order from the Emperor, if they just said, you know what, we're gonna stay on Caladan, they, you know, it's shoulda, woulda, coulda, they would have never known, Duke Leto would have never known how much better life could be. So he had to take the risk. But you think, well, you know, a man as smart as him, why would he do that? But I love the quote. I think I'm spending so much time on the quote before we even go into the meat of the chapter because it's so philosophical. There are a million things that you can come up with to get into the psyche of the man who made this decision that made people he cares about so vulnerable. But also you could think of, well, if they stayed on Caladan, they could have been in equal danger and no possibility of surviving, since we are in a universe that is very tense and is on the brink of chaos in so many ways from what we've learned about the story. Now, in this chapter, Duke Leto, he's on a landing control tower outside of Arrakeen, and he's just learned about the Hunter-Seeker attack in Paul's room. And this is very overwhelming for him because he thought he was in control of the danger. He thought he was one step ahead of his enemies. But now he's realizing that the enemies are surrounding him. Everything is happening a lot quicker than he expected, and he's not feeling as confident anymore, and he's not really even feeling as brave, but he is putting on a brave appearance. And that is why this chapter reminds me of a comedy sketch from the TV show Portlandia. The sketch I'm talking about is called In a Meeting, and you can find it on the IFC YouTube channel. I'll put a link above so you can find it if you want to see the whole thing, but I will describe it briefly. It is a work conference room. There are about 4 people sitting around, and they're going through the pleasantries of the beginning of a meeting, sort of just giving lip service, small talk to each other. But underneath the table on each of their cell phones, they're having a really important and devastating text conversation with someone else. For example, one guy in the meeting's wife just texted him and said, "You know what? I'm done waiting. I'm ready to finalize the divorce." So he's just smiling and talking to people across the table about the topic of the work meeting, but he's going, "Please wait. I'm in a meeting," and he's just trying to mitigate the situation and postpone her from going forward with some drastic thing that is going to change their lives. Another guy is getting a quote for all these home repairs he doesn't want, and the guy's going, "Okay, I'll just charge it to your credit card." And he's going, "No, I'm in a meeting, please wait." Meanwhile, he's smiling and saying, "Yeah, in the third quarter results," things that people say in meetings. And then another woman just got news that her dog had to be rushed to the ER vet, and the dog isn't doing so well. And she's smiling and laughing at the stupid jokes that they're all telling, and under the table, she's having this really serious conversation. So Duke Leto is going around preparing for his staff meeting. Gurney comes in, and he's being brave, and they're talking about, okay, strategically, this is what we're going to do next. But his inner monologue keeps repeating, "They've tried to take the life of my son." And in the book, it's in italics, and it has an exclamation point. And so you see how he's feeling on the inside is quite different from how he's appearing. He's really going through and giving lip service, and he knows that a person in his position has to appear like a confident, brave leader. And he is keeping up that appearance. But inside, he's crumbling, and he doesn't know if he can handle this. He's going, I really underestimated the situation in his head, and he is getting nervous. So we're left wondering at the end of the chapter, is there even a way for House Atreides to win this thing? Duke Leto at the very end of the chapter gets to be alone again after he has talked to Gurney and they've strategized, and he immediately goes back to, "They've tried to take the life of my son." Very dramatic. We don't leave the chapter with a lot of confidence in what's going to happen next, but Paul will be joining them for his staff meeting, and we'll see how that goes in the next chapter. Let's continue the conversation down in the comments. I will see you there, and I'll see you next time for chapter 12.